What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your daily astrology horoscope for Tuesday, June 4th, 2024. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, fixed air moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. Appreciate you all. I hope everybody's week is off to a fantastic start, and I hope it's just chugging along for you. This Tuesday is super interesting in the astrology. Why, you might ask? Well, let me tell you. Venus has finally passed the sun. They are still conjunct very tightly, of course, but Venus is leading the charge forward now, which I think is great, but I think that it kind of puts a lot of the south node in focus. And if you look, obviously that conjunction is trining the south node and sextiling the north node. So I just think that it's so crucial. Maybe we see signs of it today, or we've been feeling signs of it, that you're doing things that feel like the touch, the taste, the smell, the senses, all of these things in your life. You need to be living that very strongly and be very, firm in your values and your understanding of yourself. But it's got to be like you leading the charge, doing things, relating to things that you really want. And, I feel like we're in a time now where it can, more so than ever, kind of almost kind of creep up to like I'll just do this because they're doing it, or I'll just that's what they want. I don't want it. So we have to be very mindful that we're staying in our lane when it comes to our environment that we're relating to, and it's Gemini season. We got a lot of Gemini here. The moon's going to be there. We got a new moon coming. Like how we relate to our environment is super important, and we got to be in the driver's seat. And I'm not saying we need to control every situation. It's not that at all, but it is to just have a direction and know what you want right now, as opposed to what something else is trying to get out of you, or maybe just feeling too indecisive. So I think today's a good test to see how like much you understand your values, how much you understand what's going to bring balance and harmony into your life, and what you're doing in the day to get to where you want to go. And do you know what you want to see? Do you know the changes, and do you have an understanding enough of yourself to kind of stay put and hold your ground, to stay you, right? We don't want to morph into something outside of us right now. That would be where the south nodes, I mean, it could feel good. It could be like, gosh, I'm so tired of making decisions for myself, and it'd be so easy to fall back on another person's delegation of life for you. But I just want you to know that when you are delegating your life right now and you're picking your way, the environment, the stimulation that you might be looking for is there. So it's good. The moon's finishing up in Taurus today. Won't come into Gemini just yet for that new moon, which is on the 6th. But it will conjunct Uranus before that. It's going to sextile Saturn. So, I mean, the moon's not in a bad place. It's exalted here in Taurus. I think Uranus, of course, it could just make things a little bit different than what you expected all the time, right? But coming off the sextile with Saturn could feel really, I think, really good. This moon's much stronger than Saturn, and it could kind of feel like we're kind of in that boss position in our life, especially if we're really treating ourselves well. We're feeling good. We're, you know, just moving through life at our pace. Like, right, it doesn't have to be for someone else's pace right now. Move at your pace today. And it can, you could feel a sense of like, yeah, like I'm kind of making this happen for me today. And I know we all have obligations and stuff, and you might have to move at, the pace of a job or something. That's it is what it is. But when you can move, you move the way you need to. So I'm not trying to just say, if the boss says you need to move faster, you're fired, and you want to keep that job. Well, is what it is. Such is life. But could definitely give us some like emotional stability. For sure. And Uranus kind of takes the stability out of it and kind of throws like an unpredictable wrench into the day. But also, I think it really does help us be more individuated. It helps us, again, kind of go towards the North Node with Venus and the Sun making that sextile to the North Node, and to really like, march to the beat of your own drum when you have the opportunity, and to just stay, firm in the parts of life that make you feel good. And, it's almost like we don't have to just give up things that we want, right? Or things that we like to use to feel good or that we do. Today's kind of like, you know, how do you find different ways to get into that? And life in reality could throw a wrench at any moment and say, well, have you thought about this? And you're going to be like, no. But it gives us the ability to, I keep wanting to say initiate, but it's not initiate. Kind of, I can't think of the word right now, so I guess it's not that important. But innovate. God, it gives us the ability to maybe innovate ways to find comfort, to find that stability within any part of our day, even through maybe something weird happening. And we are in a dark moon phase too, so we're kind of starting to really wane out of the Taurus energy and come into this big Gemini energy that we're in. And we definitely want to stay grounded 2 feet today when life can throw some weird things at you, but how you handle certain situations, and are you in the driver's seat, like I mentioned, for your life. These are all super important. But money stuff with Venus and the Sun could come up. I mean, there's a lot of like physical value nature could be going through changes right now too. The other big thing is, of course, Mercury and Jupiter come to their conjunction today too. So it's just a big double conjunction in Gemini at 2 different parts. They're trine Pluto, and they are also, making some semi-square energy um, over to the Aries and the North Node, and kind of the midpoint of Mars and Chiron too. So there's just a lot there that's kind of weird, but I think the more we're able to like unravel the mysteries of the stuff that's in front of our face on a day to day, like it doesn't have to be a mystery, but maybe we have to think about things deeper and then visualize and kind of see a future for what we can do and how we can lay the tracks and make things, get going. But very cerebral, very mental. We could have a lot on our mind. A lot of it could be around relationships. A lot of it could be around money, Venus qualities. So much like stories. Like we could definitely be creating a lot of stories. They are still sextile Neptune, right, with a 3-degree orb. So like, there's just so many avenues that our brain could go, and we really want to find the beautiful ones, the ones that keep us, really embedded and like, give us the goal-driven aspect with Saturn in the morning, and give us something creative, and we want to, go deep into this stuff. That's the story we want to expand here. Um, if we're just making up stories about, I don't know, certain things that deal with other people, kind of like going too deep into a fantasy there, that can be weird because that could be disillusionment that could show up in our lives. So very overactive mind, even Uranus and the moon. It's a hyper stimulating day, but I think if you're able to stay centered in your Aries energy and in yourself and the direction you want to go in life, it'll be easier to have really cool thoughts about what you can do, and start to create your story, and start to create the story where, certain people are around, certain things are popping off, certain things are stimulating, maybe getting out of a boring cycle. There's a lot of there's a lot of that here, but man, is it heady. And of course, Mars is at 26 of Aries and getting ready to square Pluto. And Mars is pretty much just trying to move forward right now and do its thing. So there is that, level of, many of us do want to just we just want to go. We're just trying to make something happen, trying to bring just some energy forward in life. So maybe we need to find that energy. I think Pluto's going to make us for sure find it and go pretty hard for the things that we want and we're passionate about. It can just almost feel like we want something so bad, but we're not able to get it at the same time. Could bring some explosive events in life too. So we want to try and keep things as chill as possible, but I do think that there's so much mental stimulation and even, physical stimulation that could show up today that it could be very hard to get into that Taurus moon vibe of just really feeling comfortable and just really good and solid. So I think that is the goal, is to not let our mind trick us into not feeling like we're good and have things under control. And even if we aren't good and we don't have things under control, the powerful way to use our mind would be to visualize and uncover different ways to really get the juicy value that we want out of our life, relationships, jobs, just everything that we do on a day-to-day basis. So, very interesting. Also, Venus, passing the sun here does put we're halfway to a retrograde. So it's just one thing to keep up. Oh, also Saturn is going to retrograde in 24 days, Neptune in 27. Just a heads up on that. We'll talk about that when it gets here. It's Tuesday. Hope everybody's doing well. Interesting double conjunction in Gemini, to say the least. With this moon waning out of Taurus, and gotta keep that stuff in perspective. Don't give in to something unless it's really part of your story, your plans, and you have a good understanding of it. I think that's going to be crucial to maintaining stability in our day-to-day. Seven of Pentacles in reverse. I mean, I feel like this is the work smarter, not harder card today. Like, instead of putting in a ton of work and like stacking our chips before we get there, like, let's just stay steady, keep things going. Make sure that you're putting your energy into really something that you want to invest into, and not just something that maybe the world or society wants you to invest your valuable, resources on. Your energy, your vibration, your money, like all these things. So pay attention to where you're working too hard for something that doesn't have excellent value. If you're working hard and you're grinding something has excellent value and you have all the understanding of it, I think it's just to keep grinding. But if it doesn't, then there's no point in doubling down on something that's not working. Queen of Swords in reverse. Yeah, I feel like it's such a mental day, and we're probably not seeing everything we want to see from this high perspective today, as much as we may want to. So we want to try to maybe, I think, quieting the mind as best we can, although it's going to be impossible today. Like, the mind's going to be popping off. So just be in control enough of your thought to not get yourself worked up over certain things that are not true. Make sure if you're getting worked up, it has truth to it, or if you're just getting lost in something, that it has some kind of realness to it. I think that's important today. I love and appreciate you all very much. I hope you have a beautiful Tuesday. I'll see you all tomorrow. Much love. Peace.